Hey, if you're out there and you can hear me, let me know. I'm just jumping on to do something a little different. This is an unannounced stream. But yeah, so if you're out there, just say hi and let me know you can hear me. So do something a little different. I don't do a lot of work on the workbench when I'm live streaming, so I thought that I would give it a shot tonight. When I was away last weekend and didn't have a live stream, I stopped in at Hobby Lobby. They were having 40% off of their models, and I've been wanting to do a tank. Watching those videos for weathering and stuff on locomotives and rolling stock and trying to apply those things made me want to do a model. And coming off of the weekend, which was all trains, I just decided, hey, I'm gonna open this thing up. Now, I put in the chat, Oddball 75 9mm did a breakdown of the kit, explained about the kit and some of the trials and tribulations he had, and how he built it. And so that would be, so I put that in the chat so that y'all could check it out, because this is the first time for me. I wouldn't follow anything that I'm really doing other than seeing maybe how I mess it up. But so it was a $25.99 and a 40% off. It was with tax. It was $16 and change. So for a model like this, I just couldn't give up that opportunity. So that's what got me here. And so it's this patent tank. I don't know much about it or the history of it or anything, but I thought it would be a neat thing to try. Now, it's a 1/35 scale, so it's really big, so I don't know how things will fit on the screen. And so it's not a scale I've worked with before, but you can bet there's going to be a lot of detail with it. I guess this is, we would call this an unboxing and starting on the model. One of the things that some of these model companies go by a rating system, which I find very interesting. And we'll see if you can see it here. It's a level 4, and they give you a description on the back of what a level 4 is. And it's 12 plus years old. It requires glue and paint, has up to 120 pieces, and requires tools, and build time, it says 5+ hours for a level 4. So pretty neat that they have a rating system to help you out with understanding what you're getting into. Also on the box, which is really nice, is it comes with recommended colors, recommended paint guide, Revell that's for Revell paints. It's from Monogram, but certainly we can find these paints wherever we need to find them. And so they show you kind of all the Revell tools and stuff like that. Anyway, so this model, apparently the tooling for this model has been around for many, many years. So let's see what it looks like on the inside. All right. It comes with the shell, the parts. It comes with the tire tracks. It even comes with little army men. I wonder where my BB gun is. All those years ago, we had a couch in our basement, and we used to have that as a backdrop, and we put the army men on the couch and shoot away with our BB gun. It was really my brother's BB gun, not mine, but I got to shoot it. So there's that. And nobody put an eye out, except for maybe some of these guys didn't do so well. So here is your instructions and decals. And if I'm correct, I thought that this came with both water slide decals and sticker decals, for depending on your skill level or what you want to do. Comes with the parts list. And then how to assemble everything. Now, there was only one real big warning in this from Oddball 77, and that was in this last step here, putting this together. He said, don't put this together and then put this together and put it in before you attach the rotating top here to install this first, because you won't be able to get it in. That's the biggest tip he gave from instruction point of view. The rest of it, he talked about he talked about the fit and how to work through the fit. And you can see it has a couple different iterations. It has the U.S. Army iteration and the Israeli iteration. So we'll have a look at that. Unless I really don't see any other decals other than those. He didn't like the kind of the spray painted stuff, so he stuck with the normal the issued decals, and he also had some in his parts bin. So since he builds a number of these, let's take a look here at what we have. So you have these carrier sheets. That's the rear end. And I will tell you that he had a lot of parts that he put on from another model. I'm certainly going to stick with what I have. I don't have any other models to go on for this. So the turret will go on top of there. These are going to go on the sides. So there aren't a huge amount of parts. Here's that piece of the gun that's gonna go in here that we're gonna do before the end, before that last step. And some of these parts are movable parts, like the hatches and things. Take a look at the other bag. And I already noticed a lot of flashing on them that you'll have to sort of work through and get rid of. But here are your detail sheets with some extra army men. And here as well. And of course, these are all going to go in the wheel well and help the track. There's some gas cans and some other hatches and pieces on this sprue. And then on this one, you have part of the shell. These are the they call them hubcaps, but these are going to go on the outside of these, and these will actually rotate. And those will hold them in place. And then this is a sheet of mostly detail and more army men. So where does one start with these? These are a rubber. And he didn't start painting this. I know sometimes in the model railroad world we'll paint parts before we put them on. He didn't start painting until after the fact. And so here's more of the paint guide in here. And decal application instructions. And then a guide to what all of these symbols mean. Like repeat several times, like cement together, or use weight on it. So now that I look at this, it looks like these might be sticker decals. The way, because they already have cuts in them. So these look like sticker decals for this. Now, wonder if the carrier sheet is numbered or has numbers on them for parts. Taking a look here, and they do. They have little circles with the number part. So that's 34. That's a loader's hatch. And number 50 here is a gunner base. So a base for these guys. But they're all numbered, so you can follow along. So this isn't this doesn't have to be hard. If you can follow some directions, and of course if you have some modeling know-how to deal with some of the things Like he said, you're going to use putty on this. You're just going to. So he had a red putty that he used, and you could tell that he used the red putty. He was taking details off and putting his own details on, but he had red putty through this whole thing. When you're putting the sides together, get that out of the way. When you're attaching the sides, for instance, the gaps, you're going to have a lot of putty. So like here right in the beginning, that's going to end up you're to fill gaps and inconsistencies. So likely have to do some sanding. He did all kinds of other detail work where he actually took off all of this and added his own detail on these. I certainly am not going to do that. I'm going to go with the detail that's here. So let's see here. So we are going to take, we're going to need parts 1 and 2D, which are going to be these two sides. We're also going to need part 5D. There's all kinds of, he did some other modifications with the piece, the underneath here, sanding them down for fit. So let's get started. You can see why modelers like the Gundam modelers and others have sprue organizers. It's harder to do this in a box. So we need that piece first. I'm going to have to take that sprue off. Looks like so not all of these have the numbers actually printed on this one, so that's number 4. Must be D must, well, not sure. Let's get this. Sand that off. This is my little sander. This is 3D printed and holds the sandpaper in place. So we need that. We're gonna need this that's in the middle, so that's number 17. Why don't I find my flush cutters? That might work. I actually have smaller or sprue cutters, flush cutters, sprue cutters, whatever you like to call them. There we go. And covers for this. So I don't know if that's part of the molding, the sprue molding. Trying to look to see if there's an indication that that's part of it. Don't think so though. From the pictures, they're all facing one way. So I'm gonna say no because it looks like the back is gonna fit onto there. So famous last words, but we're gonna cut this off here. Those parts, now we need to go back to these, and then 16 are these. This must be sprue E. And it looks like these are going to be needed. And then these right here. And here's the outside. I just can't tell for sure why these would be on the inside. I think these would go here. These are 16. And 19, so they are numbered somewhere here. Let's see if I can find them. Okay, so that's 15. That's 18. It's 15. So these aren't the right ones for this. Those are 16. And so I need 16. And these are 17. So I need 16 and 17. 16. Okay, so it looks to me like those are going to go back to back. And those are 16. Okay. That's the wrong one. The directions are saying here is that these are going to end up going back to back, it appears. And onto here. And these are going to be able to spin for the tire tracks. Excuse me. And then you'd use, and then these are going to be gets locked in place. Just this little guy out. So all rollers should turn freely. This is don't glue. So if I'm reading that correctly. All rollers should turn freely. So the directions aren't specific to say glue the cap in place, the axle cap. But I'm assuming so because it doesn't just stay on there. But these would turn freely with the cap on. But there isn't a lot of clearance at all. The axle cap on. Goes down pretty far. This, that. And just checking the fit here and making sure I'm not crazy and that's supposed to fit on with that big of a gap in the axle cap, which it sure seems like it. And I don't see how I'm having trouble visualizing how it would fit on like this unless if you did it like that, you still have the same lack of a gap. Nope. So let's see if that's are those. Wait a minute. Yes. It's time to pull out the Optivisor here for a minute. See if I can identify the numbers on these better. So I'm thinking maybe that's 19. It's 15. So I need 17 and 16. That's what I believe those are. Maybe those are not. So those are 19. It's 15 and 18. So I think I got the wrong parts here, folks. Let me get back through. Take a look, or maybe not. This is the full kit. Those are details. Let's see what the other wheel numbers are. The other wheel numbers. Those are 19s. That's 19. 19 and 19. This one's 16. So let's identify what 15 is. Maybe that will help us a little bit here. Okay, so 15. We have them backwards. It's 18. So 15 are those. So on the sprue, these are identified as 15, but here they're 18. And 16, those are 16, they're identified as, that looks like 16. Okay, looks like 15 maybe. So we do need this one and two of these. Let's take a look at their fit. That's basically how I'm checking to see if these are right. So we do 16 goes this way and this way, and then looks like that will fit on correctly. So that should glue on there. Right. Why did this disconnect my video? So what happened here? So, yeah, that's very weird. It's done some weird things. I've had great luck with streams on StreamYard for a long time, and just been having problems since. So, okay. So now that we know parts we need, let's get those parts off their screws. So what do I need? Those. It's one side. So one side. And let's do one more. And I need 6 of these, or 5 more, I should say. Let's see. I'm cutting these on an angle because it has 6 jutting edges, and I don't want to cut off that full edge. So I'm trying to use an angle so that I don't do that, but I still get the sprue cut close. Because if I do it from this end, I could easily cut that whole side off. Let's see if there's any no other real flashing. Hey Colin, welcome in. Just impromptu, or just threw this on since I haven't been on much with tech issues, the convention. So I'm doing a little something different here with this, to take a break from trains for a minute. Just because I did a lot of work leading up to the convention on there. So curious, yeah. This stuff will work for me. So what's going on with you, Colin? Let's see if this works. Yeah, I've been itching to try a tank build just from watching all of the weathering and stuff that military modelers do. So this is the one I got at 40% off at Hobby Lobby. So it was actually $16, and you can't go wrong with that for a model. So thought I'd give it a try. Here, just a second. Put this on right. Here, hold for 20. So it's on there, but it's kind of loose. Didn't get it quite on there the way I'd like, but it should still, well. Oh, nice. For the convention, I installed the decoder in the cab car that I was building, and it's the first time I've used a Lokesound decoder. And it actually has New Jersey Transit sounds, which is what I'm modeling. So that's really cool. I got them at Streamline Back Shop. They had a custom, they didn't charge for it either, but they had a custom sound file for it. I'm finding it hard though. I don't have a Loke programmer, and so I'm having hard time programming using my NCE and the instruction, the online instructions from Lokesound. It's more difficult. The Loke program, but the decoder I got, I was trying to save money. So it doesn't have motor function. I don't need motor function in the cab car. But so it works. I do get lights, I do get sounds. Just programming the outputs, I can't get the ditch lights to get recognized in the programming. And what's nice about the Loke programmer is it has a GUI, that's very user friendly, and makes it much simpler, very similar to JMRI. But I actually, it's hard, but it works, and that's what counts. Is it mostly works until I really need it to do the right lighting at the right time. And I checked the lighting, and all the lighting works. I was able to wire that okay. And I'm counting down. I'm doing 20 seconds here with this. Probably only need 10, but let's see here. So there are actually only 7 steps to this, but multiple things you do on the 7 steps. And I like that it's rated a little bit more difficult, but it seems very doable. So, gotta pull that off. I did that wrong. So I'm gonna do it this way. There we go. Let's see. So, wow. Oh, so you're delving into HO for this to help out. That's nice. That's nice. What brand are the steamers? And are they a particular road name for your friend? Okay. Oh, this one did not stay on. Whoopsies. That's why I'm checking them all to make sure they're on and that those move. Oh, brass. Brass. That's above my pay grade, brass. But they are kind of neat. You get some friends in high places then, don't you? So, what is that little squiggly line thing? Heated screwdriver. Position flare end of pin by heating just enough of it will soften the plastic and stay in place, but yet easy to move and does not come out. Okay. So for this hatch, it wants you to apply a little heat to soften that up. That seems very old school. Now, according to this person who I watched the video on, company is the model tooling is 1956. So maybe that was a modeling technique back in the day to heat that up, to soften that. So interesting. Don't know how I'm going to do that. So just that's not a bad idea. Let's get the old calipers out and find out how tiny this thing is. It's approximately 0.06. Let's see what kind of styrene I got. Thanks for the tip on that. Thousand tubes. So grab some tube 156 diameter. 55. Oh, I don't have. Let's see what it is. Wait, is that the closest I have? No. That's a point. Let's see here. Interior. So this must be. I did say 0.06, didn't I? Six. Ron. Look at that various sizes in here. Well, that one probably would work. Calling to the rescue. Stew. Oops. Let's do. if we can hold it just above for a minute. And then we'll just put a little bit extra on there. And yes, Colin, thank you for that. That was a good tip. So I didn't, this wasn't advertised. I just decided one day back at work was enough for me just to jump on. So I basically haven't been online for 3 of the last 4 weeks. I had technical issues before the convention, then the convention, and then had something scheduled, so couldn't be on 2 weeks before that. So I'll be on Friday night again, but I just wanted to do what people do. Why be original? Jump on, and I don't normally do work on the streams that I do on Friday nights. Friday is usually about updates of where I'm at with the cars and stuff that I'm working on. So with it not being advertised, I've seen 1 or 2 people pop in and pop out from time to time. So, right, so we can put this aside for a moment. And we need to eat these big guys. These are my favorite flush cutters. I got these for like the holidays, like 10-pack on Amazon, but these are my favorites. I've had these for a long time. So yeah, and Friday night, it's late on the East Coast. It's kind of late for Central Time, and it's Friday night. People have lives and stuff, so I don't get a lot of viewership, but this is just a slot I could throw it in. It's enough after work that I don't have to worry about spillover from work, even during the busy season. It is 1/35 scale, so bigger than anything I've ever worked on for sure. It's not your end scale for sure. This is where he warned me. This is one of those things that's going to need some putty. The edges on these edges. I think he even cut off there's these little nubs there. I think he ended up cutting those off for however he was working on them. So there, that's there. See, these aren't a clean cut. You can see they're definitely not a clean cut. So you were half right. Yeah. That's correct. You're half right. I think he said that it's not completely in scale either. I think he said that it was 1/32 is what the box says 135th. But I believe he was calling it 132nd. So he's on it. So he's not wrong. There is with the, that's why he did it. So with if you use these, I think they push it out and you end up using, you're going to need a lot of putty. Yeah, if he does, I think he just glued it together. Yeah, there's a huge gap. You can see right through it to my mat. And that. Yeah, it certainly could. I don't have any room for it, but I just wanted to do it. We'll have to. I can't really make room in this place, and we need 3D. That is going to be this guy right here. I mean, look at how big that sprue is. Like, it's just the way their molding is. It's organic. So we'll use these sprue cutters for this. So I don't want that. These big sprues on here, that's not fun because then it's not cut real even, and you end up sanding a little and still not even. But he did a fair amount of sanding on this too. You're certainly not going to get his level of modeling when you watch my stream. That's why I put up his channel, because to me it's worth a watch. So we have that, and then gotta glue those together, and once they're glued together, interesting. So this has the little nubs on this end, and I think that's, he was saying, again, I don't think he liked that much, because once you get these together, and I assume that you have to get them together like that, and then see, that doesn't even, it doesn't really sit that perfectly. So if you're lining it up, that's what it's supposed to look like. So these, it looks like there's kind of a little bit of a arch to it. I almost would rather it line up. Like line it up here. And it doesn't say to glue one of these, the two sides together first. It doesn't say which to do. It just says put them all together. But I mean, I could do something like that. Line it up. Then make sure, what I want to make sure is the edges line up. tell if they'll do that. I suppose these will move anyway if you. Yeah, lots of sanding and filing. So it'll be a lot of putty, and then a lot of. I'm going to see if I can even glue just these pieces, just the nubs, because they don't even go together enough to glue the edges. Well, some of them do. Some of the edges do. Let's see what we get out of them. Could try one part of that in there. But when you get to the back edge there, so these pieces are too big for the thin cement, I think. Methinks. Okay. No, I am doing it off camera. Still doing it off camera. Sorry about that. More putty than plastic. Yeah, and if you when you look at this, the guy I reviewed, he puttied the whole thing. Like the whole bottom of this was just putty. He actually, because he was doing other details on here of his own, he actually puttied almost all of the turret. So let's see. The thin cement might be too thin for this. I might have to get a thicker cement because these are not staying together. And this is still slightly off. Let's see where that's going to go. It's just slightly off. And I'm using the Tamiya extra thin cement, so I'm wondering if I need a thicker cement. I mean, it's sort of holding. Maybe if prop it up a little bit, because this is going to be a pain to get on, and it doesn't look like the edges are going to end up exactly even. But very close, though. So we are going to try. Let's see how wonderfully this works. So I'm just getting the edges of these nubs and then the edge of the piece. Let's see if we can get it to want to break. So I'm going to hold this together for a second, and I'm likely going to still need to there's an incredible gap right in here. So I'm going to need pretty sure I'm going to need a thicker cement for this. So, oh no, does that mean a hobby shop trip? I think that means a hobby shop trip. Yeah, I don't think I can. It's gonna bug me because this is not going to work. Again, too thin. What is a ruling pen? Oh, I've never heard that term before. To be honest, outside of any brushes that come with them, it's toothpicks. I'm not never heard the term ruling pens. So I'm going to leave that for a second. So, next are some detailed parts for the back end. And then inside, and then once the back end details and a little bit on this, a little bit more on this piece, this will fit on top of there. So here. Looking for so on this spool, it'll be on. They're just E. Thought it was on this sprue. Maybe not. Oh, D. Yeah, so that's not that. That's not that. Nope. What number is this? Okay, so that's 12. That's whatever that thing is. Drafting tool mint for drawing ink lines. Some nibs that can hold a bit of cement. Sharp point allows for more precise application. I'll look them up. What I have been using for super glue is a needle that I put in the X-Acto handle, but that gums up really quickly, and I didn't buy a lot of needles. But I'll have to look that up for sure. Some flashing on the inside of that. Let's go. Exact. Looks like a tow cable of some sort. Just a little bit on there too. So that's 2 contact points. And try and hold it. Where did you learn about that tool to use it for a glue application? Trying to find those little pieces. Let's see. Oh, sure. Some of these is a little bit of guesswork trying to figure out what these are. I can't find. Many years ago. My wife and I were sitting watching a sitcom, and we laughed at a joke that had everything to do with age, and we thought it was really funny because the younger people in the sitcom couldn't relate, and we thought it was funny. And then I go, that's not funny, that's really sad, because that reference made sense to us and made us laugh and didn't make the young people laugh. So so what is it? Why did it indicate that? I don't understand what it indicates. These. So it wants a little bar. It wants. I gotta find whatever this crazy part is up front. Get off of this page. The heck is the. What the heck is that? That's disturbing. I really don't think there's anything missing from the kit. But I can't find the part. Probably, as my wife would say, it's probably right in front of me. And have the pieces all. Yeah. Oh, is this? Oh, it's a dude. It's this dude, isn't it? Right? Yeah. It's a dude's head. That's what that is. That's not. Hey. This. So this part is an upside down dude. And there should be a lever or something somewhere. Oh, there it is. Just takes a little bit of looking. That's in a little corner there. There we go. D. So let's see. And so let's see, put this in here. When you pop the hatch, so you have the hatch open. You can hang out. And swivel, but he's not going to be able to swivel when you lock him in. Interesting. I do not like. No, I can't tell what the AFBD bit are other than parts. Oh, that's the color. That's the coloring if you want to paint them. Yeah, that's what he looked like. I was even contemplating whether I wanted him on here or not. He doesn't look at it. He really doesn't go up that high. I guess he's trying to keep his head low. And he leans forward. Yes. But I suppose it's okay. It's okay. It's my first build. World will go on with him in there. I can't believe this is actually coming together. Actually looks like something. Okay. So now next step will be getting all of these, everything lined up. Look at that gap. It's gonna be putty time at some point, for sure. Yeah, I don't like that back here. That gap causes that. Let's see if I can get more glue on here. That goes up a little bit. It'll fit much better if I can do that. And they're absolutely gonna need putty all the way along here. Plus, you can see the glue, the over gluing did some damage to the bottom. That's from glue and probably a fingerprint. This is not wanting to cooperate very much here. Let's try it out. Let's see how this thing on here. It's gonna be very gappy. That's so far off now. You can see, well, I probably can't, but there's a little lip there because of that big gap. So we will try to get this to cooperate. This is gonna dry pretty quick already, but I'm gonna go back and add the glue. And more glue, I just want to get it in place. See if we can manage that gap. Put that together and yeah, you could do that, but you know, I've worked with putty before. I don't mind it, you know, on the outside. Does take a lot of sanding though to kind of get that right. This is going to bother me to no end that that's uneven because that didn't glue down correctly. But we'll try and get that gap filled here. I just don't think, I think the extra thin is just maybe too thin, potentially, although I'm not an expert on glues. There's a gap here too. So I'm definitely going to need to sand this down anyway. So, but yeah, you could put the putty on the inside for sure in here if I did it now or at some point. And there we go. So that is step one. That only took, I don't know, an hour and 15 minutes. A little bit. Then step two is you're adding on for the treads. And step three, you're adding all the wheels for the treads and the treads themselves. Then step four is the turret and details. Step five is putting those together and adding details. Step six is details. And step seven is the main gun. And step eight are all the figures. So even though this is a 4 out of a 5 rating for models, this doesn't have a lot to it. I'll definitely have more fun probably in the painting and weathering stage, because that's what drew me in. Interesting way to do it. But I still also like your idea of putting the putty, especially for this main part, kind of filling the gap in here and pushing it through, and then there's less to do there. But I still have to, it's still a very rough edge, even with it all sort of glued together. This really is going to bother me because this is not wanting to stick at all. But maybe we can hide that. I hear that best modelers are the ones who know how to hide their mistakes. So this to stick in there a little bit. Hey, Naker Rails. Good evening. Doing something different. I know you were able to get to a live stream or two before. Just jumped on because I don't do work in front of the camera. I haven't done that, so I just thought that's all I was doing tonight, was trying out this tank build. I've always wanted to do a tank build, and I got this one real cheap, so it was the right price. But I'm learning as I go. Lots of pitfalls to start. All right, so what do we have next? We have these not so well numbered pieces. $13 and $14. Let's see what you have. Let's see that way. These guys again. These we decided were 19. Okay. This would then go on here. And tap on that. Yeah, something different. I just came back from an NMRA regional convention, and I'd been working up to that with the cab car and the flat car, and so it was kind of all about that for the weekend. So it was kind of nice just to look at something different here. So, and I appreciate y'all stopping by too. Let's see here. Yeah. On the edge. There, like so. Let's do a little more. This one's going to have to glue to the edge, that little. Let's get that to hold. Oh boy, Colin, late night humor. There you go. That one went on. And we need this one. I think we consider, even though it says 18, we consider that 15, I think. Yep. So, well, let's just make sure those aren't number of those. Those are 15. Before I go getting these wrong. So, with the molding and everything being so old, not all of the numbers and things come through. Some of them look like something else, and it's a little bit hard to get through, but and we need that 16E and E. That and one of our little so what kind of cart kits, Naked Brows? Advantage is to being fat. You can give yourself a wedge here and you lose less on the floor. Doesn't make me drop it any less, just makes me lose less. I do like the way they have this, so you cap it with the little hubcap and everything stays moving on there. I think that's pretty cool. This fits specifically into here. stuck right away. I should have sanded that. Yeah, hopefully you won't see that. So when we do the other side, we do that. Okay, so 8. I saw those. When I was growing up, my brother, who's 2.5 years older than me, was into doing the cars, and I don't know if I was just too young, but I did the snap together ones when I was younger. So I've always had some interest in it, for sure. Model trains just caught me when I was out here as a thing, so I went for the model trains. But I'm always wanting to do stuff. I even like Lego. My wife is into Lego kits and has a million of them, and it's a more expensive hobby than model building. It's funny. Everything intrigues me in model building. Like the aircraft models intrigue me, and all the stuff that goes into them. I'm going to assume that those are number 10s. Oh, that's number 9. This one's number 10. These are actually nicely done with their numbering on things. Yeah. Oh. Okay. We'll go to number 11, 20. One of each of these. Oh, they have a little. So this is going to be like that. Okay, so those are the that's going to be a cap for the we did model rockets when I was a kid too. Those are fun. You have to go chasing and find your rocket and go off into nowhere land. But we had some open field. I grew up out east, and we had some. The town I grew up in had a bunch of big drug companies at the time. They had these big campuses and very open areas that weren't near their buildings, so they didn't get mad if people were on there. And we used to shoot them off, shoot the rockets off from there. Hey, Willow Creek, Brad. Welcome in. Just decided tonight, just was gonna jump on and do a live build, I guess. Not model railroad related. I just got done with an NMRA convention, so decided to just do something different. I've always wanted to do a military model, and so I'm breathing in some good fumes and having a good old time. So yes, just gonna do that. So let's see how this does. Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate it. Gopher Girl, welcome. Just decided to do a pop-up live stream where I'm doing work and talking to people, because I'm usually doing updates and I don't do a lot of work on the streams. This to line up, hopefully. This is one of those cases where that little nub to line things up is actually in the way. So I get why you would remove those. So it was not lining up for me. Whew. Get that together. Line that up nicely. Well, yeah, Brad, but one of the things I'm having trouble with the thin cement is when there's more tension with this thicker plastic, it pulls it apart very easily. So I'm wondering if just a thicker Tamiya cement would do just fine with it. Hey, Colin, thanks for stopping in. It was nice talking to you. Missed you at the convention. Hope all is well, and have a good night. Yep. Maker Rails, yes. I usually live stream Friday nights, and I plan to this Friday night as well. I do have some updates from the NMRA convention that I just attended that involved the models I've been working on. So I plan to be on. So yeah. If this is supposed to be this is supposed to stay on. Why'd they do it that way? Because this doesn't have anything to anchor it in. So I'm wondering if this one is supposed to be glued on or stay on these rollers. This needs to. The glue is curing those. That stays on. I would think that because that's gonna go. Yeah, I don't. Is this? That. Let me get it. Maybe. So okay, so then it should glue on. Let's sit for a second. I got it now. Catching on real quick to this stuff. Still not an expert at it since this is my first try, but Gopher Girl, are you watching 48 Hours? Okay. Two. 13. There it is. Didn't you already rewatch? I thought you just rewatched Andor. I'm so confused. But that's nothing new. So, Brad, are you working on anything tonight? Usually you are, but just wondering. Need this, and this, and one of these. Oh, so you're rewatching the second season. Got it. Got it. Eat it, got it. All right. So for this, we have that whole thing. Yes. Oh no, a glue mark. Yes. And I'm rotating these because of the glue I'm using, because it bonds the plastic by melting it, holding the pressure on the hubcap and moving the wheels so that they remain movable. Okay. Yeah. And we need number 15. That was the big one. That's this guy right. Now, what I didn't do last time was I didn't, and although this one's not bad, seeing that now. Okay, that is in there. We have that, and then we need 16. Dan, pay attention. Here we go. So, Deacon Rouse, you said you were younger. So, if you do like Star Wars, what was your, what was the first series for you that was in the theaters? I'm old enough where I clearly remember the event that it was to go see the original Star Wars in the theater. Gopher Girl was not old enough for that. But I for sure was. I never got into The Walking Dead. Make sure these are moving. Okay, I don't have to make sure those are moving, but I want to. Okay, so next, these guys. Even with the problems with the gluing and the fit and everything, this is going together relatively easy, so that's exciting. And it makes me excited for managing the paint job and the weathering, because that's what makes military models come alive, is that weathering. And there's that nubbin. That nubbin. There were two of them. I remember there were two of them. This one. Right. There it is. This goes. Make sure you put it in the right way. I remember I remember this theater. It had these, it was in a strip mall, and it had these long painted lines, blue, yellow, green, and red, and they went down the sidewalk. And so when they had big movies come out, big premieres, or big movies come out, like your Star Wars, those lines were so long, and so that was a fond memory going to that. And I was young, so I was 5-ish, and so to me at that age, it was the stars, the ships and the explosions and everything that got me hooked. It wasn't until later on that I kind of started to understand there was a story behind it. And I just became a John Williams fan. The music's really important to me in movies, and his work, people won't put him next to other composers of classical nature, but he definitely deserves to be there. He's just a modern composer, and he is a fantastic composer. And yes, some of his work has similarities and stuff, but any composer is that way. Without his work, those movies would not be the same. Yep. Okay, so this is another one of those issues where we gotta get those nubs off because they're not helping. So do that again. You can see the other one. Off again. I'm struggling a bit with this glue. in cement might not have been the way to go. But it is what it is. Have a good night, Naked Rails. Nice to talk to you. I gotta make sure that is moving. So that window is moving. Gonna sand this one down just slightly. Yeah. All right. I'll lock it on. Let's try that again. All right, let's try to get these on now. Lots of waiting for glue to dry. Yes. Although it doesn't take that long. So then these will go into use. Okay. Step 1 and step 2 done. All right. So I think we're going to call it a night here. Thank you, everybody who joined me and played along as I did some work on this neat kit. It's the M48A2 patent tank from Monogram. You can get it for $25.99, which is a good price anyway for models like this at Hobby Lobby. And if the sales, I got it on Saturday. If the sale's still going on, it's 40% off. I paid $16 and change with tax. Phenomenal price for a kit. So I just thought I would work on it, and maybe I'll do one of these work nights again. So thanks everybody for stopping in, and have a great night. I plan to be on Friday night at my usual time, 8 p.m. Central Time. And I'll have an update on the Thousand Lakes Region Convention and the models that I presented there, and some stuff I got from our raffle. And it was a good weekend had by all. And so have a fantastic night, and remember to just jump in.